You're watching Drake Queen Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Queen Gaming and something about on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Temptation's Ballad. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. And I'm overjoyed, nay, absolutely chuffed and tickled to be graced by thine glowing and bopping presence. Maeve did not look impressed. You can drop flattery, lady. We commoners don't judge folks by how well they can gargle a thesaurus around here. A bit of a dick, isn't he? Cole glanced at her, pleasantly surprised. Huh. Maybe you're not so bad for a pureblood. I was born a farmer, like most of my druid countrymen. Nobility has been a bit of a learning curve. I think you've learned a little too well. Remember to pull yourself out of your ass occasionally, otherwise you're going to get stuck there. Your advice and expertise on the subject is duly noted. A brief smirk passed across both their faces before they settled down at their table. I mean, you can't really tell because she's wearing a thing. Anyway, did these two catch you up on the plan today? We're headed to the royal palace for a little meeting with the prince. Gonna try and squeeze some answers out of the guy. Like, yo, we heard you paid an urchin to spread these funky rubies to the black market. What gives? Probably get the chance to poke him about the royal family's involvement with the locust famine while we're there. Maeve's eyes narrowed. He will likely remain tight-lipped. However, even a brief audience will allow us to force an official statement from the royal family, and that can be used to our advantage. Artemi frowned. It still pains me to suspect the royal family of dubious behavior, but all clues point in that direction. Enchanter Agatha alluded to similar suspicions, but she said she was unable to speak of it, like her tongue was tied. She was only able to repeat publicly available information to me when she spoke of her misgivings, and recommended that we investigate the 14th laboratory in the Magistry District for more details. The kitchen door suddenly creaked open, and Calder poked his head out, ears twitching. Unable to speak of details that are not publicly available? Why, that sounds like the workings of an anti-mimetic spell. Everyone turned towards the foppish hyena with a mix of intrigue and disdain. There was a pause as everyone considered if their need for information was worth giving Calder O'Shaughnessy the satisfaction of being asked a question. The foppish grinned and flourished a hand through his hair dramatically, reveling in the attention. Well, I am sure you are desperate to know, and I, the heir of House O'Shaughnessy, will be happy to share my expertise of arcane knowledge. Did anyone else hear something? Just some passing wind, nothing more. Excuse me! I am clearly in possession of vital information. Surely I am more useful as a consultant than I am as a menial laborer. The kitchen door suddenly swung open and a furious Ilias stepped out, flanked by a small selection of floating knives. Dishwasher! Get your sorry ass back in here. I don't tolerate slacking off on the job. What? Right away, ma'am. Please put those knives away. Oh, come on, guys. Give him a break. If he's got some useful info, why not let him help? Dude, do you actually trust this guy? I mean, sorta. He's got the vibes of someone desperate to be useful. Are you really gonna let a grudge get in the way of the investigation? You guys need to stop beating him down. I think it's past the point of being funny now. Your capacity for forgiveness and understanding is an inspiration for all, Sid. Unfortunately, you are a better person than I. Come on, Artie, for me? Artemi grimaced. Very well, I will stay my hand for as long as Calder O'Shaughnessy refrains from his rudeness. I do not expect our truce to last very long. Yeah, same. I'm still gonna clap back if he tries something. Fair enough, I guess. Sid sighed and lifted the foppish noble by the collar, away from his mother's reach. Ilias shot the hyena one last threatening glare before retreating back into the kitchen. Calder visibly relaxed as the older bird disappeared from view, but still clutched onto Sid's arm for dear life. So what were you saying about this funky spell? The noble cleared his throat nervously. Why, I am so glad you asked. It is an infinitely complex topic, but to put it in layman's terms, an anti-mimetic spell is powerful magic that creates a self-keeping secret. A self-keeping secret? For example, say someone casts an anti-mimetic spell in that horribly kept secret of you being a mage. Cole flicked a chunk of butter into the older hyena's hair. Sid immediately swatted it out of the air with such impressive speed that Cole forgot to be annoyed. That information will be unable to spread. I could verbally say to someone, this dirt-encrusted son of Marrow Bonebreaker is actually a mage, but they would not comprehend my words. I could write those same words down on paper and show it to someone, but would not understand what they were reading. The secret will be maintained. Maeve stiffened, agitation bleeding through her stoic facade. Ugh. This is concerning, to say the least. If what you say is true, even if we manage to uncover any damning evidence of the royal family's wrongdoings, we would not recognize it for what it is. Our investigation would become an impossible task. Would there even be a point in meeting with His Highness? Anti-memetics is powerful magic and requires a significant amount of resources to pull off. However, it also includes several significant weaknesses. For one, the spell needs a copy of the information it is obscuring. In this example, it could be a simple piece of paper containing the words, Calder Bonebreaker is a third-rate mage. Ow! Who just kicked me? Boss, come on, let him finish. What? I didn't do anything this time. Worry not, Cole. It was I who defended your honor. Calder scowled and rubbed his bruised shin warily. Anyway, the spellcaster will need to hide away the written copy of his secret in a safe place. If someone manages to find the copy and dispel it, the anti-memetic effects end. Calder nodded thoughtfully. If I were to hazard a guess, a copy of such information is stored within the 14th laboratory. That is likely why Agatha Stoker urged you to search the place. I see. So if we find this copy, we can break the spell and uncover the royal family's wrongdoings in one fell swoop. That is one option. Another weakness of the anti-memetic spell is that it only prevents other people from spreading your secret. If the spellcaster himself accidentally gives the slip, the information would still spread. The third and final weakness of this spell is that it can only prevent knowledge from spreading. It does not destroy. Oh, that's good. Those who already know the secret before the spell is cast still hold on to that knowledge. They cannot spread it themselves, but they will know nonetheless. Okay, I guess that rules out annoying that old brat for more details. Cole scratched his chin. What are the chances that the prince is the one who cast the secret spell? I mean, the king and queen are dead, so he's basically the only one left. If we can squeeze some info out of the guy, we'd be able to keep it in our heads. Not an ideal outcome. If only one of us learns the secret, we'll be unable to inform the others. Good point. It's still worth talking to the prince, though. Plenty of non-secret stuff we can pressure him about. Cole hopped off his chair and dusted himself off. That's enough chatter. Is everyone ready to head out? We've got a peacock to bully. Try not to say anything stupid while we're there. Why did you look at me when you said that? Moral support. Oh, that reminds me. Gautier, if you have a moment, give me your hand. Oh, of course. What do you require, my lady? Artemi watched curiously as the druid tugged off the armored glove from her hand. Her eyes widened as Maeve dug through her small pouch at her hip and pulled out a bronze ring ebbed with a small amber gemstone. Then her jaw fell straight to the floor when the druid gently slid the ring onto her finger. Lady Osmia, I have no idea what to say! This is so sudden! Is it comfortable? I had it made this morning to your size. I'll be happy to send it back for adjustments if it troubles you. Artemi thumbed over the small gemstone on her finger, her face alight with a flustering pink. No, it fits perfectly. I've never received such a gift before. This is deeply flattering, but think of our positions. Maeve tilted her head with a frown. Will you accept it? Artemi fell quiet, furiously fidgeting with the new ring. A new ring across her finger, she struggled to muster a string of coherent words. Yes, thank you. Maeve nodded. Good. The arcane crystal should boost your charisma by a smidge. My what? I asked the blacksmith Clyde to create a few enchanted items for House Osmia, for a House Osmia test run. Seeing as we are about to meet with royalty and your conversation skills are lacking, I had him craft this +1 charisma ring. I have my doubts on how much it can improve, but it was worth a try. Oh, of course, this was an arcane ring, not Creator's Breath. What is wrong with me? Somewhere behind them, Cole let out a wheezing sound that like a strangled chicken. Artemi smiled politely and bowed. 1 second, y'all. One second, y'all. It is water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Okay. Artemi smiled politely and bowed. Please excuse me, Lady Osmia. I must go murder Calder Bonebreaker. Make it quick if you must. Our meeting with the prince fast approaches. As Artemi got busy creating a second hyena-shaped hole in the wall, Calder shuffled up to the group nervously. If you mean to pursue your investigation, would it not be helpful to have a knowledgeable wizard at your disposal? I, heir of House of... I will be happy to provide my service if they are of help. Hold it right there, dishwasher! You're not weaseling your way out of work that easily. Good gods, woman! Will you ever leave me alone? Okay. Come on, Mom. I'm sure he learned his lesson by now. You can let him off the hook. Honey, you have grown into such a kind and gentle soul, and I am so proud of you. But you can't keep letting these little chuckle fucks get away with shit scot-free. If this is why you kept getting picked on back in school. Yeah, got it, but we already had a talk and he's sorry. Just move on, shall we? Ilya shot her son a knowing, doubtful look. Oh, the stuck-up noble boy said he's sorry. Did he actually apologize, or did you have to bend over backwards to squeeze a half-decent word out of him? Yeah, there it is. Back in the kitchen with you! Wait! Mercy! I beg mercy! Too fucking bad. That's not on the menu here, you little... Ilya was momentarily distracted when the doors of the inn suddenly creaked open as a new customer stepped in. Like clockwork, the murder melted away from her face, replaced by her customer service smile as she waved cheerfully. Greetings! Welcome to Sparrow's Roost Inn. What can I get for you? Her words stumbled when she caught sight of the man slowly approaching the front desk. Oh dear. The temperature in the room seemed to drop with every step as the tall, ancient man glared down at her through a condescending glare. The old man wore a tattered, old-fashioned wizard's hat that went out of style decades ago, and his expensive cloak spilled out behind him in a waterfall of fabric. He looked as out of place in this humble tavern as a fish out of water, if the fish could glare holes into your skull. His eyes scanned across the occupants of the room in search of something before slowly panning towards Ilya standing behind the counter. The old man looked mildly surprised to see Ilya defiantly staring right back with a strange smile, unbent by his presence. My name is Gaius O'Shaughnessy, of House O'Shaughnessy. I am looking for my grandson, Calder. Have you seen him? Gaius' voice drawled like jagged grains of sand, scratchy and grating from years of disuse. Ilya opened her beak to respond, but froze as she felt something seize up her leg in a death grip. She glanced down to see Calder crouched behind the counter at her feet. The boy's shoulders were trembling with unrestrained terror as he clasped a hand over his face to stifle his own ragged breath. Calder peered up at her with desperate, pleading eyes, shaking his head furiously in fear. All the haughtiness and condescension were gone. Here, quivering at her feet, was a terrified child. Ilya sucked in a deep breath and turned back towards the old wizard. Oh, I'm sorry, dear. We haven't received any guests by that name at our inn. Ilya smiled, her voice pleasant, but there was iron behind her eyes. There's no point in lying. My cast of Locate Creature led me straight here. Without a shred of doubt, my useless wretch of a grandson is hiding somewhere in this establishment. Oh, I'm just an old bird trying to run a little worn-down inn. All this magical stuff goes completely over my head, but I'm certain I did not house any hyenas under the name Calder. Perhaps you are mistaken? Gaius' gaze narrowed. I do not make mistakes. Oh, dearie, I used to think the same, but age always finds a way to sneak up on you. Alright, I'm going to pause it right there. Oh boy, let's see how this resolves itself in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to have a quick shout out to lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silver, and thank you all above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Anyway, if you want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our not safe for work content. It's as little as $5. If you don't want to donate to our Patreon, you can donate using Super Thanks on YouTube. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!